I'm at a point where I just give up. I'm just giving up on this whole situation. At this point, listen, Shemar Stewart, either sign your contract or don't. I'm really just over it. So, Paul Dehner went ahead and gave us a little bit more insight on the whole situation with Shemar Stewart. He says, "It is my understanding that they offer the exact same language in this clause as the majority of the first round contracts, and for reference have offered the exact language of the picks before Walter Nolan and Greg Zabel. It's different than the Murphy and Mims the last 2 years, and the Bengals generally structure contracts different than most teams with guarantees, which matters, but the language being proposed for this clause is common across the NFL." Shout out to Paul for giving us a little bit more clarity on this. So, again, according to Paul, this is a common clause. So what we understood and what it seemed like based on what we were being given information-wise was this was a kind of out of left field type of clause, and it wasn't 100% black and white as it seems like for other teams. Like this was something new the Bengals were doing. No, that's not the case. This is actually something that other teams were doing as well. Again, there's so many conflicting reports on this. That's why it's so annoying. It's so annoying with this whole situation. At the end of the day, here's what we have, okay? We have a first-round pick who publicly bashed the team. We have a first-round pick who refuses to practice and is now the only rookie drafted from this last draft, 256 players. He is the only player who has not practiced. Number 3, we have a player who left mandatory minicamp early. Definitely not a good look. And number 4 right now, we have little to no information about this subject. But we're getting snippets left and right from different people. Some people saying 100% it's the Bengals front office's fault. Some people saying it's the opposite and it's actually Shemar Stewart's fault and his side's fault. I'm tired of it. And I'm sure you guys are as well. At this point, just get something worked out. Just get something worked out and let's get this crap over with. Because at this point, lock him in the room. Lock Katie Blackburn in the room with Shemar Stewart and his agent. And let's get this figured out. Because this is just an absolute stupid distraction, a stupid situation, and we need to get this figured out ASAP. I'm so tired of it, and at this point, man, just come on. So we have some people commenting. Shout out to Nate, as always. Love my man's Nate. "I believe void is for default is common, but the Bengals are attempting to broaden the scope to all future guaranteed payments being void if there's one incident. That seems awful harsh. Let me know if you think I'm off." Someone also said about Mike Florio. Florio said if teams offer this language, they typically get more money up front. So the player signing isn't really worried about the remaining guarantees since it's minimal money. At the end of the day, it's hard to say. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, just play and you'll be good. Why not just play and be good? Whatever, just play and everything will work out." Well, the problem is, obviously, there's also a situation where you get injured and stuff like that. There's stuff out of your control. And I don't know. I'm just so beyond frustrated with this whole situation. Paul, is a scenario we could potentially see a play out with compensation for an NFL draftee not signing. Broadly, no, there's no specific compensation for failing to sign a rookie. It doesn't really happen due to rookie contracts being strictly defined. Bo Jackson is the unassigned drafted player of note in recent memory. He refused to sign with Tampa Bay Buccaneers due to allegedly sabotaging his NCAA eligibility. Played a year in for baseball Kansas City Royals before being drafted the following year by the Raiders. from 2020 NFL Collective Bargaining Agreement. The following is Article 6 covering the draft. Alright, so yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if this is something that is being, it's the same but different. Yeah. If this is something that is being offered by other teams, and this is not like the Bengals going rogue on this one, which based on what this is saying right here, they're not. What they're saying right here is that this is a situation where, you know, Walter Nolan and Greg Zabel got the exact same language. So we have two other players in the draft, and most first round picks, as it says here, got the majority of the first round picks got the same exact contract. It's frustrating then, because it seems like this isn't, if that's the case, this isn't a front office issue. If everyone else is getting the same deal, everyone else is getting the same contract, and they're signing their deals, and they're getting the deals done with, and they're moved on, this doesn't seem as much of a front office issue as it seems like a player issue. Again, we just have such little information. that's like the best way I can put it. Because if we're going to win, if we, let's say, again, hypothetically here, okay? Full one, everything Paul says right here, I'm believing, you know, as just the word of gospel, right? It's Shemar Stewart's fault. He hasn't signed. Because this is not the Bengals doing something loosey-goosey. This is every first round pick had the same thing. Shemar Stewart's the only one having a problem. I think there's more to this than just what we're seeing from Paul here. And that's where I think it kind of adds on with the Florio take of, you know, this is a common thing, but normally teams offer more money. And that's where it seems like they might be going for more of the full guarantees of his contract. Which, again, like I said, I'm just frustrated with it. I really am. We have a first-round pick who's publicly bashing the team, and rightfully so if he is in the right and the team's in the wrong. But it's toxic. It's frustrating because it's just a beyond toxic environment. And this is not something we can afford to go through right now, given our circumstances. You know, we're trying to win a Super Bowl. We're not trying to go back and forth and play freaking laser tag with this situation. We need to worry about the season and not be worrying about this stupid crap. Okay? Just sign the guy. Get the contract worked out and get it figured out. I don't know. Just annoying. Just annoying.